Hey everyone, I'm Tony Ramirez, and this week we've been working on our Workflow Builder tool. We have a few updates I want to share with you. So first thing you'll notice is we have some nice animations showing the direction of the flow. They're an easy add, so we just add them. Also, these plus buttons between the nodes, these were always there, but they used to be hidden until you hovered over them. And a lot of people didn't know you could insert nodes and you could split the path. So we just made them so they're always visible. That way people don't get confused. This also existed, but we forgot to mention it. Down here on the bottom left, you can change the direction that your workflow is built in. So you can go left to right, or you can go top to bottom. You can switch this on a per workflow basis, or you can go into your settings, and if you go to the workspace or workflow tab, you can configure the default view you get for the workflow. Okay. Now we also added 4 new actions. These actions are really cool because they pause the execution of the workflow. So usually the workflow starts and it just runs, and each branch of the workflow just does its own thing, and it goes all the way to the end. But now you can stop it with these 4 new nodes. The first one is the wait node. So let's open it up. Then you can configure how long you want it to wait. So a good use case for this would be someone signs up for something, but you don't want to immediately send them a welcome email. Maybe you want to wait 30 minutes. So you just select minutes and you change this to 30. I'm going to leave it to 8 seconds for the demo in a second. Then we also have this pause action. This one's really useful because it will stop the execution, and then you can provide some custom instructions so that the user who looks at it in the execution can read why they should resume it, or what to look for before they resume, or maybe you have to perform a task before you resume it. And you can also send the notification to a specific user. And then the third one is the schedule action. This one, the use case I think of is someone signs up for a call for next Friday, and you want to make sure that 2 days before the call, you are able to send them some emails, maybe some information, an outline of what you're going to be going over. So you can set a custom value here, and you just pass in the date. We support seconds, milliseconds, or ISO strings. And then you can set an offset. So I would say, like, before, I'd leave this as days, and I'd put 2 days. So then 2 days before that date, it will continue and run the rest of this piece of the workflow. And then the last one we added is this manually decide path step. So this one, like the pause, lets you send a notification to a user, and then they're told in the email, it'll say the instructions, and then it'll have a link to this execution, just like the pause one. And then they have to decide between path A, B, C, D, however many paths you added. And they'll select one and then resume it, and then the execution will only go down that path after the user's looked at it. A good use case would be maybe depending on the output of the workflow to this point, you actually don't want to do path A, do path B. That wasn't even an example, but you get the point. You can select which path to go down. Now let's actually show you an execution. So I have a manually run trigger. So I'm just going to hit play, and I'm going to hit run. We also made it so that you can see live updates on the execution page. So we're just going to wait 8 seconds, and then this will finish. There you go. Delayed message, and then I got a Slack. And then we have this pause, schedule, and manually decide path. I'm going to just go to the pause one, and I'm going to resume it. And then it sent that Slack. And then the schedule one, it's not scheduled to send till September 6th at midnight, which is tomorrow at midnight. But you can still manually resume it anyway. Okay, there we go. It sent the message. And then we have this last one, the manually decide path, and I'm going to select path B. There we go. Now it took path B. So I got 4 Slack messages. All of these stopped the execution at whatever point it was asked to stop at. So it was the first step for each of these. And you can add many weights in one path. You can mix them, you can match them. So this is just the weekly update for our workflow builder tool. We will be adding one more pause step, which lets the user add some custom values that can be used in the rest of the workflow. That one will be really useful. And if you have any future ideas, if you want to try out our beta right now, send me a message and I'll get you the beta code. And stay tuned, we'll be posting more updates more often.